Bred to Win, brought to you by Arrowfield, the home of four-time champion sire Schnitzel.
At 10 million, take 500 more, at 10 million.
Hello, I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to a new week of Bred to Win, coming to you from Sheeny Park at Probabeel on the outskirts of Sydney, where we've just been filming our Thoroughbreds Ago sponsored rider for Equimillions, Hannah Marsland, and her son of Schwazier, Burnt Patch. Coming up on this week's show, the best horses in action in Sydney and Melbourne as the Spring Carnival hots up in our Ozhorse News. We head back over the ditch and visit New Zealand's breed-shaping Waikato Stud and look at two young sires with outstanding early runners, Super Seth and Ardrossan, and proven thoroughbreds Jamie Walter in Arrowfield Stud's industry influences. That's all coming up, but we start with the breeding backstories to another huge weekend of spring racing in our Ozhorse News.
It's Autumn Glow. She's really starting to use this action of hers.
While Royal Randwick may not have hosted a Group 1, Saturday's racing threw up several of the most exciting performances by proven and up-and-coming stars of the track. Autumn Glow's win in the Tea Rose Stakes was another big step forward in the career of one of the most exciting fillies we've seen in some time. Now 3 from 3 on the track, the daughter of the Autumn Sun and triple Grade 1 winner in South Africa via Africa has been a star from being sold as a $600,000 weanling by Breeders' New Haven Park through to being on-sold by Silverdale Farm at last year's Inglis Easter yearling sale for a sale topping $1.8 million to Arrowfield Stud and Hermitage. With a magnificent action and all the attributes of her champion bloodlines, Autumn Glow featured not only in our Easter sale preview, but also in Silverdale Farm's April Fool's Day joke video. And who knows, perhaps there was something in those crystals after all.
This is an agate. It helps with inner strength and courage. It also helps with insomnia and bad dreams.
While it's even harder for brood mares, it's also extremely rare for an elite stallion to produce one as good as themselves. But 5-time Group 1 winner the Autumn Sun may well have done so. And it was a quinella for the stallion as Snow in May finished second in the Tea Rose. The son of Redute's Choice is recovering from a pelvis injury, but undoubtedly the bookings will already be lining up for 2025.
Fangirl moved up.
Fan favourite Fangirl produced another memorable performance from the rear of the field to win the 7+ Sport Handicap worth $1 million and replacing the former George Main Stakes, which is now the King Charles III on Everest Day. The daughter of Sebring provided an emotional victory for the Ingham Capitas family and the Wallace stable after the loss of their triple Group 1 winner Riff Rocket to colic through the week. She's from a family rich in Ingham history, a daughter of triple stakes winner Little Surfer Girl, herself a daughter of champion filly of her generation, Special Harmony.
I am me, Marzu. Steffi up the fence.
It was a fitting win by I Am Me in the Yarraman Park Shorts, with the mare a daughter of Yarraman's 3-time champion Australian sire, I Am Invincible. The Concord Stakes winner in the Dynamic Syndications colours was a $210,000 English Premier yearling sale buy for Dean and Adam Watt from the Medalia d'Oro mare Mef Nuda, who's from the One Last Dance, One World Prawn Cocktail family. I Am Invincible stands the current season at Yarraman Park at a fee of $275,000 and will feature on Bred to Win in several weeks.
And now McHale bursting through, and here's Gringotts late. McHale.
The English Graduate of the Week was McHale and his success in the Bill Ritchie Handicap. He was a $160,000 English Easter graduate sold by Eden Glassy to Denise Martin, Star Thoroughbreds and Randwick Bloodstock, racing in the paramount colours of triple stakes winner winner Religify. His dam Tsar's Jewel also produced Tsaritsa and 9th Legion, while Shooting to Win, the Northern Meteor half-brother to Deep Field from outstanding broodmare Listen Here, stands at Queensland's Oakland Park Stud at a fee of $9,900.
It's all buckaroo.
At Caulfield, the Group 1 Underwood Stakes was won by the European-bred son of Fastnet Rock, Buckaroo, being the 11th Group 1 winner on the Fastnet Rock Galileo Cross. A last start Chelmsford Stakes winner, he's a half-brother to Group winner Middle Earth, who now also is in training in Australia. The MRC Foundation Cup sets up a Caulfield and Melbourne Cup bid for Positivity, a daughter of Cambridge studs Al Manzoor. The former SA Oaks winner was sold by Woburn Farm to Ben Kwok for $160,000 as an NZB yearling, and is from the stakes-winning O'Reilly mare Pussy O'Reilly from the Great Valpolicella, ready to lift Haunui Farm family. And the Caulfield Guineas Prelude was won by a son of Darley's sire, Harry Angel, Angel Capital. He was a $400,000 English Premier yearling sold by South Australia's Mill Park Stud to Gregory Ho at Upper Bloodstock, a half-brother to Berkeley Square, and Senor Toba, bred by David Peacock. Godolphin announced through the week their new managing director is Andy Makiv, the long-time head of Darley's Victorian stud Northwood Park. Andy succeeds Vin Cox, and he'll oversee the expansive racing and breeding operations around Australia. And Bred to Win's thoroughbred rehoming offshoot program Thoroughbreds Go is pleased to be sponsoring Hannah Marsland for the 2024 Equimillions next month. Hannah is riding a Bowness stud-bred son of Choisir, Burnt Patch, who's from Songstar, a Galileo half-sister to Sunline. We'll follow their progress at Equimillions in upcoming episodes of Thoroughbreds Go, resuming in late October. Coming up after the break, the Cambridge Stud Performance of the Week, and we catch up with Waikato Stud's Mark Chittick and the latest on young sires Super Seth and Ardrossan.
Today we're here with Probabeel's Al Manzoor filly, going through our daily routine. We just want to give her an early education before she heads up to our Karaka farm, and from there she will be broken in about January. Just going to go get a wee hose, a wee walk, and then we're going to weigh her. We try and keep her off the grass because she is a bit of a fatty, so we just have to watch her weight.
She's got a very good temperament. She's a bit stubborn, but she's very well. She handles everything.
Kia ora, darling. Yeah, this is all a part of their early education. We obviously don't blast them and give them a full shower. They're just learning about this new environment, and obviously water can be scary for them, so start off very slowly and wet their legs. That's all we're teaching them, really, just to be in here nice and calm.
They've all been pretty well behaved, but some of them can be a bit scared at first, but once you get in there and then once they're wet, then they seem to be able to handle it quite well. I think everyone in New Zealand followed Probabeel as a racehorse, so it's nice to be working with one of her progenies, and we'll get to work with a lot of them in the years to come.
What do we got there, Alice? 340 kgs. Too many pies. Just walk her up and down a couple of times, get those feet nice and dry. Hopefully shed a few kilos. She's got a lot of Al Manzoor about her, but certainly Probabeel comes through in her physical stature. She's going to be, dare I say it, a forward early horse. Al Manzoor obviously is renowned to breed middle distance to staying 3-year-old types, but you do have to remember he has left a Karaka Million winner, and this filly is obviously out of a dual Karaka Million winner.
She's very cruisy. I like horses that are good to lead because then it makes my job a lot easier. But yeah, no, she's very well handled and very good to lead.
Look at them all looking at the favourite child.
Well, of course, she's not going to the sales, and especially with Probabeel, she's our queen, so all of her progeny will stay with us and race.
There you go. Remember this?
She's just going to Karaka, get a little bit of education up there with Amy.
She'll be a miss for the farm, but we'll see her on the track and when she's racing. You've done this before, but this time without your mum.
We probably do look to see her trialling maybe September of next year, and that'll get her ready for the spring and the autumn racing.
From the outset, it was a real coup for New Zealand's Waikato Stud to secure the services of a Caulfield Guineas winner, and the son of Kiwi champ Dundeal's Super Seth is already racking up the stakes winners, including linebacker in Australia and poetic champion in New Zealand. And his barnmate Ardrossan is following on in the footsteps of other sons of Redout's choice, already with 4 stakes winners on his resume. Mark, it's been another sensational 12 months here at Waikato Stud, on the track, in the deeds of your stallions, your brood mares, and now of course your stallions as sire of sires and champion brood mare sires. What's been the most exciting thing for you in the past 12 months?
Oh, that's a really good question, Carolyn. Probably the 3 Group 1 winners. It's the 3 Group 1 winners and the 15 stakes winners that we produced. You know, it was a phenomenal year. The highlight really has been racing a horse like I Wish I Win. You know, we always dream of, all of us all dream of racing a horse like that in that top echelon, and he certainly has been, and obviously it's a huge thrill.
And I mean, you know, incredible looking at the way he's come back as well, heading to this year's Everest, but he means so much to you, doesn't he? He's such a Waikato product.
Absolutely. It was about certainly over 35 years ago that Gary purchased his great-granddam, and you know that family. So yeah, we've been breeding it for near on 40 years, and we breed a lot out of the family, and really that family over that nearly 40 years has never been to an outside stallion. Has always been to, let's call it a Chittick-owned stallion, you know. So to get through to now, and it's produced good horses all the way through, but certainly for the family to produce and for us to breed, you know, one of the best sprinters in Australia, you know, like it's massive.
And, well, Probabeel, I mean, the versatility of this stallion, it's outstanding. We have a story coming up in the weeks to come on Probabeel as an incredible champion stallion, but he's back doing what he does best, isn't he?
He is. He's absolutely incredible year in, year out. You know, last year he produced another 12 stakes winners, but you did right, that versatility is quite incredible. 2-year-olds through to older horses, fillies, colts, sprinters, through to 2 milers, just incredible. And he's 23 years old now, and we're a couple of weeks into the season, and it's like his first season with him. He's quite incredible.
Well, we're focusing today on Super Seth and Ardrossan, 2 young stallions. Super Seth will start with, of course, we know by Dundeal, he was a Caulfield Guineas winner. Such a coup to have here in New Zealand, and hasn't he been off to a great start?
Certainly has. Just the type of horse that we really like here to stand at Waikato Stud and to put our mares over, you know, that massive turn of foot, and he showed that in the Caulfield Guineas, beating Alligator Blood, who was unbeaten at that time. It was a coup to get him, but obviously you pay to get those type of horses. Our market over here is probably not, let's say, quite as lucrative as it is in Australia, so we've worked away with him, but certainly the way that he's kicked off, you know, to have those 5 2-year-old winners in Australia for a New Zealand-based sire, that's the first time for 12 to 15 years, and you know, the Group 1 placed horse on probably not a favourable track. It's been a massive start.
But Poetic Champion has found a great kick. He's 3 lengths in front.
Poetic Champion, a stakes winner out of a half-sister to Star Spangled Banner, looks to have a really big future as well. Just a wonderful action. And Super Photon, another stakes winner too. Yeah,
exactly. Like he's had the numbers, and everybody that you talk to, all of the trainers that you talk to, if they've got one, they really like them. Annabelle Neesham had a lovely winner on the weekend, only at her second start, and I know Lance O'Sullivan in town here, he thinks very, very highly out of the filly out of Suavito that we own ourselves. There's a number of them now that I think we'll just start seeing coming out over the next wee while, and it'll keep it all rolling.
Yeah, we know, of course, Dundeal, his sire was a true champion. By High Chaparral, who's just an outstanding sire of sires. Sadler's World's a breed shaper, and then of course crossed lost with Redout's Choice. You don't get much better on pedigree pages than that.
100%. He's a beautifully bred horse. He's a great type. You know, Dean Hawthorne's a great judge and bought him as a yearling for GSA Bloodstock and Jonathan Munns. And Dean commented that he was one of the best walking yearlings that he'd come across in all of his years. And that's sort of the types that he leaves, and they're just good movers, they're good temperaments. He's just a great stallion for us, and I just believe he's got a massive future in front of him.
How do you sum up how he looks? I mean, he's even in, you know, it's a bit of a chilly day, a bit grey, but his coat's starting to gleam. He's looking really as if he's matured into himself beautifully.
He's a very strong coppered coloured sort of a horse, just a lovely type. He's been an interesting horse to breed with because we were just a bit conscious of Dundeel and his size, and so we put some bigger mares to him in that first season, and we certainly found that we didn't need to be putting big mares to him. In fact, we're quite the other way now. So a mare that maybe hasn't left the best type or hasn't left a lot of leg, we certainly go his way to try and fix that problem, because he's certainly put a lot of size into them. So I just look at him that he's leaving his own types. He's leaving types like himself, but he's doing it his own way. And
a fee of $45,000. I mean, it's very reasonable considering what he's done so far.
Yeah, 100%. And that sort of if he was standing across where everybody's probably watching this, he'd be at a lot more than that. But that's our local market, and as I say, he was a very expensive purchase price, and we wouldn't have that fully returned at this stage. But certainly with the way that his career has launched, it won't be far away, and as I say, massive future.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you're not, you know, the service fees within the New Zealand market, you can't really rely on them. A lot of it is about your yearling sales and breeding your mares to a horse like Super Seth too, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it starts even before that with we have great support in purchasing a horse like him. You know, we can't take on that risk ourselves, obviously, with the purchase price of colts like him at that stage at the moment. So we have great support of farms and breeders around here, the Pencarrow Studs, the Elston Park, and a few others, you know, so that helped us secure the horse. He's sort of, let's say, been through his tougher years, but last year his book increased immensely, and this year he's going to serve a very big book.
Ardrossan, Bignell coming after it, ever loyal, but Ardrossan's won it.
Well, Ardrossan too, I just loved this horse when he raced. I remember him winning that Concord Stakes on Karaka Millions night, and he was such an interesting racehorse. It had some time out, but you'd worked out how to get him right, obviously with his health, but he's just a magnificent looking horse, isn't he? And the older he's got, the better looking he's become.
Absolutely, like he's been a real revelation for us. With the limited opportunities that we did see on the track, he was unbeaten as a 2-year-old. He won over 800 metres very, very impressively in his first start, so we knew that he could gallop, you know, and then he had his health issues as a 3-year-old. Came back as a 4-year-old, won the Concord, ran third in a close finish with Melody Bell in the Bostonian in a weight for age Group 1 race, and then went to Australia to compete over there, and unfortunately, you know, we came up with heat in the tendon, and he went to start at that stage, and it was a little bit later on in the season, and for a few reasons he served a very, very small book. So out of that first crop, out of that first year, he got 40 live foals, and you know, 4 of those are stakes winners. So we're travelling at 10% of stakes winners to live foals, which is just massive. And we always had a great belief in this horse because of his looks, because of his pedigree. The mare's done a fantastic job. I think she's left 3 other stakes winners or whatever it is. He showed us that he could really gallop, so we had faith in him. He's repaid us back. He's gone from 2 small books to a bit bigger, to last year serving 150. This year he'll be 160, 170 mares, and we've put his service fee up to 20 grand based on results and demand.
But obviously, by Redout's Choice, we obviously know that. But out of an Iglesia mare, and Iglesia is so underrated, of course, as the sire of Written Tycoon, but he has Last Tycoon, Masque blood. So this horse is an incredible cross of some of the best bloodlines within Australia.
100%. He's got a lovely pedigree. He's got all of those nice stallions and proven stallions there. And as you say, Iglesia was a good stallion. And the mare in particular, you know, to have left himself incentivised and another stakes winner, she's done a wonderful job.
And there's so much to be excited about always here at Waikato Stud. It was so good to see Magic Dancer with a beautiful little sister to Novair, the Guineas winner. Just so much to look forward to on the track and here in the paddocks of this beautiful stud.
Yes, absolutely. really exciting, obviously, year ahead of us, but certainly 6 months. The novias are now yearlings, and extremely looking forward to heading off to the sales with them between here and Australia. He's left an absolutely quality type. You saw the foal on the mare this year. She's a beautiful, beautiful filly. He was an $800,000 yearling himself. His brother made $950,000, so that's the quality of stock that the mare's leaving. And he himself has progeny. Like he's putting leg into them. He's correcting mares that leave faults. He's leaving types that are probably you know, more than what we even envisaged, to be honest. So that's really exciting. We've got a really good season here ahead of us with nice full books across the board, and you know, we haven't got a new stallion this year, but it's just time for us to get on and do a lot of work with our proven horses.
Always great to visit Waikato Stud, and we wish the team well for the season and with I Wish I Win in the upcoming Everest. Coming up after the break on Bred to Win, another man with potentially a big hand in the Everest, proven Thoroughbreds Jamie Walter in Arrowfield Stud's industry influences.
Well, Caroline, there's a few. I guess the most obvious one is the first chronologically. My dear late mother threw us all on horses when we were about 2, and it was sink or swim. So I was very active in pony clubs thanks to her, and had a greater understanding of the horse at the coalface. So she would be the first. Second one's an interesting call, I suppose. Race callers, Australian race callers, I think are the best in the world. And the one who really stood out for me was Bert Bryant, great caller from Melbourne. Bert was a caller back in the days pre-Vision, when the radio callers had to create a word picture.
The Great Grey from Gundawindi. The lawnmower's got to the front, 250 metres to go. Gunsender starting to draw away.
He was a tremendous character and a beautiful voice and a most exciting race caller, and that really got me going about racing. The third and most obvious would be my late brother Guy, who there wouldn't be a proven Thoroughbreds without him, but he taught me so much about the industry, the subtleties of training, breeding, type of horse, every aspect of the game. And the final one was probably another fellow that we've sadly lost, Steve Brem. Steve was, you don't often hear this description these days because they're almost redundant, encyclopedic in his knowledge of pedigrees, families, and had a great grasp of type. So I learned a lot about sales strategy and technique from Steve Brem, and he was a terrific fella. Great sense of humour. I loved his company and I miss him dearly.
And of course, with proven Thoroughbreds and the great success you're having bringing new owners into the industry, I guess people are learning a lot from you as well. You're becoming a bit of their industry influencer, and they can learn all the things that you've learned through your life.
Well, they're probably hearing all my boring old stories for about the 4th time, Caroline. But yeah, I guess so. I mean, my son Tom is very involved in the business now. He's heard those stories probably 24 times. But yeah, you learn a lot from people in this game, and you learn a lot also by your own mistakes. I think if you've got the humility to appreciate when you've stuffed up, and there's always a lesson to be learned from making mistakes, then you'll get better at what you do if you hang in there and keep doing it.
That's all for this week on Bred to Win. Don't miss next week's show as we look at the remarkable success of stakes winners in Australia coming through the historic Tattersall Sales Ring, and a horse I loved on the track, and with a name such as Paddington. How could you not love him as the most stunning stallion at Windsor Park Stud in New Zealand? All that and more next week. I'm Caroline Searcy. I look forward to seeing you then.
Bred to Win, brought to you by Arrowfield, the home of 4-time champion sire Snitzel.